All right, all right. It looks like we just got the room opened up here, Helene, for today's edition of Trade of the Day Live. So excited to be here. I know people are just now popping into the room,
Oh
so wanted
yeah,
to
excited to be here
welcome.
too.
Exactly, exactly. No, it's love getting to sit down and do these sessions here. I know we have a few folks that were joining us here live this morning, so welcome into the room, everybody. Go ahead and post in the chat. Just say hi, say what's up. I'm so glad to see you here. So thanks for being here. We have a couple exciting things to share with you this morning. Interesting day in the markets, Helene. It's
Oh yeah.
starting to really jump headfirst into earnings season today, and pretty mixed reactions so far. So what are your thoughts on what you've seen so far today?
Yeah, I think, people are sitting on the edge of their seats to really see what's happening with earnings, especially after the run that we've had. It's really teed things up to, expect perfection if we're going to stay at these levels. So, I think that people are very closely watching to see what's going to be happening this week with earnings and with some other data that's coming out about the economy. But, I think everyone's on edge, just waiting to see how everything comes into place.
Exactly. Yeah, I totally agree with you. I'm going to start sharing my screen here. Just give me 1 second to get that pulled up. But I totally agree, though. It was I always get a little a little anxious seeing, whether it's a stock or just the index level, rallying, making new all-time highs, heading into something like a big earnings season, which is exactly what we're doing right now. And like I said, really kicked things off today. A lot of the major financials here in the U.S. reported. And interestingly enough, we actually opened today at a new all-time high and rallied up, hit a new intraday high. We traded above 6,300 for the first time ever. So that's
Amazing.
certainly something to be applauded. But of course, stocks have cooled now, roughly flat on the day, kind of near session lows. So been kind of a mixed day. A lot of those earnings reports we got today were actually in the pre-market. So we had J.P. Morgan Chase, Citigroup, we had Wells, BlackRock. So significant number of major financials reporting today. And, it was pretty mixed bag on what they reported. JP Morgan and Citi were pretty good. The others were kind of mixed. So you can see that in the reaction to stock prices.
Mhm.
But of course, as you said, we got some, had a lot of economic data expected this week. We got the CPI report this morning too for June. And while the headline number was in line with expectations, it was about three tenths of a point higher than the previous month's reading. So, it was signaling, this could be some of that inflation, people have been, projecting for a while to, be as a side effect downstream of tariffs, so that could starting to be showing up somewhat in consumer prices. So, that's something the market's been pretty uneasy about. It's of late been largely looking through it, but, that it certainly has been on the horizon and on the radar for investors. So, could be starting to show up there. And I think that's kind of what has markets on their heels today, kind of sitting back, just waiting to see, more earnings come in. We have some more inflation data tomorrow. The PPI report, has a little more read through to the the PCE, which of course is the Fed's preferred method for gauging inflation. They've said that numerous times. So probably a lot of eyes on that report tomorrow. But what are you
Absolutely.
seeing here in the chart, Helene? We kind of just covered, just today's price action, kind of what's moving things today, what's got investors paying attention. But what are you seeing just in the long term here, in this chart?
In the long term, of course, we're in a tremendous bull run. I think that's hard to deny, even with that dip in April and March. But, right now, we have been in this prolonged, overheated period. And as we've said plenty of times before, this can go on for quite some time, but we are due to pull back. I think that everyone's just waiting to see what is going to cause that pullback at this point. But we've been basically sideways here for almost 2 weeks, and
Hmm.
nothing's really pushed us that much higher. Even though we did hit, as you said, a new high today, but nothing's really pushed us that far lower. So I think it would take something tremendous to really push us even higher from here without some sort of constructive pullback in the short term.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I think that's exactly what's showing up in the chart right now. If you kind of hone in just in the last, as you said, couple about call it week and a half, ever since we broke out to this new high here, we have edged out two new all-time highs, but just barely. I mean, breaking out significantly above this level, we haven't done that. We hit a new closing high here, hit a new intraday high here, but immediately dropped down thereafter. So that's being reflected down here too in this MACD study down below. So if you see this one, right as the market was accelerating, we finally broke out of this consolidation pattern right here. You see there was a short blip of momentum building in the markets. We broke out, made those new all-time highs on several occasions right there. But ever since then, momentum, it's kind of petered out again. And we were anticipating this, of course, heading into this week, big earnings, a lot of fresh economic data, things that can certainly move markets. And, I think investors, coming into this week, we kind of saw a little bit of selling on Friday, a little de-risking heading into the weekend and, what's to come this week. Obviously, trade talks and tariffs are a little more prevalent now than they have been over the past couple months as we've been recovering off those April lows. So, just a couple, newer uncertainties being reintroduced to the markets. And so you can see right here, of course, our MACD is actually signaling a sell signal just because the momentum's fading currently at the index level. So you're seeing that right there. And I think you're also seeing that being reflected in this chart here too. I know, Helene, this is one we always love to look at. This is that advanced decline line specifically for the S&P 500 index. So this is just looking at those advancing versus declining issues for just the S&P 500 stocks. And so you can see down here is the line specifically that we're focusing on. And so, of course, when it's rising, that means more of the total volume of S&P 500 stocks is increasing in price. When it declines, it means the opposite, right? So when you see that line over the past couple months, you can see right here, this would have been last week when we made that new closing high. And then, just take a look at today. Even though we edged out a new intraday high, this line's starting to slope down. So you're starting to see a little bit of pullback in that really strong momentum we've seen lately, a little bit of cooling off. And again, this is something we've been forecasting and, it's starting to show up more in the price action right there. So, I think that's, exactly what we've been kind of talking about for about a week and a half now that, things have been pretty overbought. And that's okay. That happens in great bull runs, and also pullbacks are totally normal and totally to be expected in a powerful bullish uptrend. That's how consolidation happens. That's how rotation in markets happen. And rotation, rotating out of some of the winners, having that rising tide lift all boats, that truly is what powers bull markets over the long run. You expect your leaders to lead and continue to do that most of the time, but you do eventually have to have some of those other stocks, start to pick up. They maybe not outperform over the long term, but they're going to start participating to the upside. And I think we're going to start seeing that here, maybe the next couple of weeks. But again, as you said, Helene, certainly in the long term, the trend looks really, really strong right now.
Exactly. That the outlook is still extremely bullish. We are just, expecting, looking at the technicals, the shorter term pullback, which is usually just a quick pullback. People are taking profits, we're taking a breather. And, that's really important for a constructive bull run. You aren't just going to go straight up. That's just not reasonable. So still very, very bullish, but just expecting this shorter term pullback.
Yep, exactly. 100%. So yeah, I think that's about all I wanted to cover, just looking at the index level and kind of the S&P 10,000 foot view level of the technicals. But I did want to go ahead and hop into my trade that I spotted for today. So
Yes,
if that's, did you want to share anything else, Elaine, talking about these?
No, go for it. Go ahead and jump in the
All
trade.
right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and hop over to my Think or Swim, actually. And this is really exciting here, folks. I don't know, you may have been able to catch in on the session where Chuck and I sat down yesterday and talked about this incredible indicator we've developed here in-house at the Hughes Optioneering team. It's called our PADI indicator. And this is just an incredibly powerful trading tool. And specifically, it's zoomed in. I have zoomed in and honed in on this stock right here. It's Vertiv. As many mornings like I do, I log in, see where our trading tools have spotted that day, see what opportunities are out there in the markets, what looks attractive. And I honed in on this one right here because this was one of the really strong buy signals that Patty spotted this morning. And, again, this is a tool that we've created in-house, has been just nailing some great trade recommendations lately. It's been, pretty impressive, some of the breakouts it's been able to spot.
Oh, yeah.
But you can see right here, this green up arrow, this is indicating we have a buy signal. This has an algorithm running in the background. It's automatically going out seeking these in the market for you. So all I had to do was log in and see this right here. And so again, you can see here's our green up arrow, spotting that buy signal today. You can see Vertiv has obviously been an incredibly strong price uptrend over the past couple of months. You see there's a bit of a pullback, and now it's starting to reaccelerate. You can see that price action started to swing back up, gain some more momentum. And it's also being confirmed down here too. We have this lower study down here, which is a really unique part of this PADI indicator. This is what we call our momentum radar. And what you like to see down here, this is just this, it works in tandem with the main PADI algorithm that displays the buy signals up here. When you pair that down here and you see these green bars starting to show up, well, once you see a green bar, that means the momentum in a stock, it's starting to trigger. That means it's starting to have a bit of a breakout, and it's spotting that. So you can see, of course, we had a couple red bars right here as the stock pulled back, but take a look. We have a new green bar right here. And, if you zoom out, you start getting this just massive green wave a lot of times when you start having these, bullish reversals and momentum reaccelerations in a stock. So this looked like a very, very strong signal to me. I loved seeing this new breakout today paired on the momentum radar right there. So, Helene, I thought this looked like a very attractive bullish opportunity. And now the way I look
Absolutely.
to go
Really
ahead,
strong pick there.
yeah, I thought so too. Obviously that's been a great winner of late, but as we said earlier, we're heading into earnings season. There's a lot of extra time premium built into options right
Yeah.
now. So, it's a little more difficult to find a reasonably priced call option to go long with just buying a call. So I was like, well, keeping that in mind, we have a lot of extra time premium. How about I make it work in my favor, right? I'm going to go ahead and try and find a call debit spread. You take advantage of all that extra time premium that's baked into the options right now. And so I found this call spread right here, Helene. It's the VRT August 15th, and it's looking to buy to open the 105 and sell to open the 110 right here. It's kind of right on the line of where I'd look to enter at. This is a 5-point spread, so of course I would want to set my limit price at 4 points or lower, just to guarantee that I have at least a 25% profit potential. And again, it's right at hovering on that line. The price is bouncing right around. But when I looked at it, it was kind of currently coming at 3.95 earlier. I saw it
Okay.
dip a little bit below that, so it's kind of hovering in there.
Yeah.
But you can take a look at the profit potential right here. If you were able to get in on this trade at 3.95 points, has a really solid profit potential, in about a month's time of 26.6%. And I mean, take a look at this downside potential protection for the trade as well. I mean,
Wow.
you see, of course, if the stock increases, great profit potential. If it remains flat, still has that full profit potential realized at option expiration. But take a look at that downside protection. This stock, VRT, could sell off 12.5% from its current price level by the time the option expiration rolls around. It would still be set up to realize that full profit potential. So that is an example of spotting a great bullish opportunity in the market. Looking, kind of reading the table, reading the playing field, seeing all that extra time value in the options, and making it work in your favor. So that's how I'd go ahead and look to play that trade today.
That's awesome. I love that. The downside protection is amazing because, we've all been in a position where we've looked to enter a bullish directional call option and maybe, momentum falls out or there's a bad headline and it sells off and suddenly you have a loser. So I know these call option debit spreads are just such a great way to give you that downside protection that things don't have to go exactly how you think they're going to go and you'll still make that profit potential, which is phenomenal. I mean, that just increases your odds of making money.
Yep, absolutely, 100%. So, yeah, no, I was really excited about this trade today. The setup looked great. Patty, as we be
Oh, Blane, I think we lost you there just for a second. Let's see. Well, looks like we lost Blane for a moment, so I'll go ahead and jump into my trade. Give me a second here as I go ahead and get this set up. So let's see. Hey, Blane, welcome back. Can't hear you. We can't hear you. That's okay. So I went ahead and my trade of the day is for XLC. This is the Communication Services Select Sector ETF. And although it's communication services, you would think that it'd be more telecommunication, but interestingly enough, it's more like big tech. So the top holdings include Meta, Google, Netflix, there's also Comcast in there, Disney, so social media, big tech names. And I just absolutely love this setup. Well, first of all, of course, I'm always looking to confirm the bull trend and the buy signal with both a long and short term moving average. So my long term is the 200-day moving average, short term 35-day EMA. Typically, when stocks are in really strong bullish trends, they are trading above that 35-day EMA. And we found that through extensive testing, because we do a lot of back testing in order to prove our strategies. And so, as you can see, XLC is currently trading above those two levels. Additionally, here we're seeing just a tremendous run, a series of higher highs and higher lows, which only very bullish stocks do. As you can see, we have that high there in May, that high there in June, that high there in late June. And those lows, as I said, are also getting higher. And so this is a very bullish trend. It confirms the bull trend for the stock. Additionally, we have that 52-week high. I mean, we've had a series of 52-week highs, which only occurs in these very strong bull trends. Now, kind of like what we were talking about when we were looking at the broader market, strong bull trends can't just go up forever. They have to pull back in the short term in order for them to be sustainable. And so we've seen that time and time again. Late May, we had that run up, and then we saw that pull back to the middle channel. We saw that run up again in early June, that pull back to the middle channel, that run up late June, and then into July, we've seen that pull back to the middle channel. And what we often find is that these tremendous bull runs, you see them bouncing off of the middle counter channel. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. I'll go ahead and zoom in just a little bit to really show you guys that a little bit closer. Okay, so we're seeing that these bounces off of the middle channel before a series of trades higher. And so that's what we're seeing here. Just a couple trading days ago, we saw that bounce off of the middle channel, and we appear to be bouncing off of it and trading higher. They look prime to take off from here. And so what I was looking at was a call option purchase. And I'll go ahead and walk through how I'd pick that option with you guys. So looking at my Robinhood account, I'm going to go ahead and look at the options for XLC. Typically, we like to be about a month out with our option expiration. So I'm going to go to August 15th. And then if you're familiar with our 1% rule, we like to limit the time value to 1% or less of the stock price. And that really allows us to profit if the stock moves 1% or less at option expiration. It increases our odds of having a winning trade because that time value, decays to zero at option expiration. So we want to limit that time value and increase our odds of winning. So the first strike that I see that meets that 1% rule is the 102 strike, and it's trading at 565. So 102, it's well below that lower channel. And should give us some good downside protection while also giving us that leverage that options provide. So I would like to trade the 102 strike for August 15 for XLC.
That looks like an awesome trade there too, Helene. Sorry for the technical difficulties too there a second ago. My Zoom kind of had a mind of its own, and the camera and mic and everything. I started getting error messages everywhere. I didn't touch anything. It just started panicking on me. So hey, technology, right?
Oh
So
yeah, it happened.
maybe your comm services ETF there can help me out. The nice tech comm services there could use an assist. But that looked like a great trade. So I love it.
Appreciate it.
Obviously tech along with the comm services sector. Those have been two of the absolute leaders. I mean, they have just been knocking the ball out of the park this year. Had a little bit of a pullback there. As those stocks, we had a little bit of that market rotation, occurring, for the last couple of weeks, kind of still continuing right now. So yeah, that looks like a great trade setup. So way to go. Strong find there. I love it.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yep, absolutely. So, well, folks, that's everything we're going to cover today in today's live call. But stick around because we actually have something really exciting for you. If you just saw how I found my trade that I spotted today, it actually wasn't me spotting it. It was that tool that we talked about, just briefly here today. It was Patty. It was the incredible, trading tool indicator scanner that we've built here. As I said, it's been spotting a lot of the great breakouts lately. Had some awesome ones this morning, just like that one I talked about there for VRT. And so if you want to learn a little bit more about that, Chuck and I, as I said, we sat down yesterday, had a very nice live session. And so I'm actually going to go ahead and set up a video to show you that replay here. So highly encourage you to stick around. I'm actually going to go ahead and post a link in the chat too. You'll find that useful. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my camera off. Again, highly encourage you to stick around. Going to go ahead and start that that video right now. So Helene, if you want to go ahead and sign off, I'm going to go ahead and hop off and get that taken care of. But thanks again so much to everybody for attending here. Thanks for being here live, and I think you'll enjoy the video. So see you back here on Thursday, folks.
Okay, see you, Blane. Thank you guys so much again for joining us. As Blane said, he's going to go ahead and set up that video. Patty was an indicator that and scanner that was developed in-house, and it provides amazing buy signals. Not only do you get a list of all the trades on a buy signal on a given day, it also goes ahead and prints the profit target and the stop loss that Chuck would look to use for that trade. So not only does it find the stock that Chuck would enter, it also gives you the profit target that he would look for it to hit and also the stop loss as well. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for joining, and we'll be back again with you guys here in a bit.
So let's go ahead and kick things off here now. But before we do, we always like to remind folks just of these couple reminders before we kick things off. So please remember, folks, the profits and performance that are shown today are not always typical. You do have the possibility of losing money, of course. We all know that. Now, the majority of the trades expressed, they're based on trade alerts as issued by Chuck Hughes programs, and not all traders took all trades, and we cannot guarantee any future results. So what you'll see today are some of the best examples over the last few months. And of course, there were some bigger winners, there were smaller winners too, and there were some losers, obviously, as well. With any trading system, you're going to get that. Now, since entry and exit points will vary depending on individual trade timing, of course, the profits and performance will also vary even amongst customers when they're receiving even the same trade alert. So folks, always make sure to only trade with risk capital, trade at your own risk, and see the terms on the TradeWins homepage for more information. And just one last quick thing before we begin. We all know this, but again, we like to remind this to everybody, folks. Just, in trading, there are going to be some losing trades. We all know that that's just part of the trading game. And there's no such thing as a crystal ball that finds winners every single time. As much as everybody would love to have that no such crystal ball exists, right? So if you cannot handle a losing trade, then you have no business trading with real money. And with risk capital, there's always going to be some amount of losses in trading. That's just part of the trading game. But our goal here today at the Hughes Optioneering team is to help give you an edge in the markets, and that's exactly why we're here. So if you just joined the room, everybody, my name is Blane Markham. I'm the Chief Trading Strategist here at the Optioneering team, and I'm so excited to be here live with this morning. And why we're here is because I have an urgent update for you all. Last year, as I just alluded to earlier, a world-famous trader, trading legend, he actually developed a breakthrough trading algorithm that turned the industry on its ear. Now, right out of the gate, this trading algorithm started finding opportunities just like these. There was a 38% gain on Apple in just 4 days, a pretty solid return. How about this one? A 250% gain on AMD in about 2 weeks' time. Check this out, a 124% winner on JPM in about 3 weeks, an incredible 305% winner on NVIDIA in just under 14 days. But get this, that wasn't even the best one. Look at this one right here, one final one for good measure. There was a heart-stopping 1,601% gain on SMCI in less than 1 month. Now, of course, keep in mind, folks, not all trades work out quite as well as these. And if there obviously are some losers along the way as well. But we share these examples with you because what they do is they demonstrate what is possible using the breakthrough we're going to show you here live today. But since then, of course, the markets have shifted, and we were stunned to discover that our breakthrough trading algorithm has also shifted as well. It actually started finding even faster trade opportunities, just like these several we're going to share with you right here. This was an overnight 81.1% profit opportunity on RGTI, Rigetti Computing. How about this one right here? Another overnight winner, 46.6% win here on Dollar General. You can see the entry and exits marked there on the chart. How about this one here for Zscaler, the big cybersecurity platform? This is an incredible 94.6% profit opportunity on Zscaler in just a matter of 2 days. And again, you can see there in the chart where the entry and the exit points were on that signal. Now, think about it, folks. If you put $1,000 on each of those trades right there, that could have turned into $4,220. And remember, the longest trade of that whole batch I just shared with you right there was only 2 days. Now, Those with larger accounts, of course, you could scale up the size of your initial investment if you wanted to. You could have put $5,000 on each of those trades, which could have then turned into $21,100. Now, again, of course, not every trade will be an overnight, grand slam success, just like some of those were right there. And there's going to be some longer trades, longer term trades as well, of course, and as well, some losers along the way too. But the reason we're hosting this webinar, coming to you live today with this very special urgent alert, is because this incredible trading algorithm seems to be targeting faster profit opportunities. And today, we're going to be looking for 99 volunteers willing to test this incredible new and faster trading algorithm. But again, we're going to have a little bit more on that in just a second. Promise you, we're going to get there. But first, I want to go ahead and remind you that at the end of today's presentation, reminder, we're going to be giving and handing you a free trade pick that was found by this incredible system we're going to be talking about here live today. And we're giving this to you as a special gift for joining us here live on this webinar. So make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you stay here until all the way to the very end so you can get your hands on that hot new trade pick. Now, to kick things off, let me go ahead and show you a few trade examples right now. So let's take a look at this one right here. This is Celanese Corp, ticker is CE. Now, CE, they're a chemical company, and most people out there, you're probably like me. This stock is not always popping up on your radar. You may not have even heard of this stock before, perhaps. And it's not one of those high-flying tech stocks that you hear about in financial media all the time. They're not a big player in AI, but that's okay. The stock like this is never going to get the same kind of attention or even valuation as an Apple or Tesla, but that's okay. That's actually can be great news for us. And let me tell you why. Because of that, that actually means Wall Street may actually overlook a stock like this. And that opens the door for individual investors just like you and I to have the opportunity to take down a quick profit. And here's an example of just that happening right here. So we actually bought a CE call option for $387 back on February 26th. You can see circled right there the entry date. So that's where we got in on the call option. Just a few 7 short trading days later, so just about a week later, we cashed out on that trade for $710, which equated to an 83% return on that option. I mean, you can see here's the trade confirmations right here from the brokerage account where this trade was taken. Now, of course, for demonstration purposes, we kept the trade amount small just to show you that you are able to start small. But these numbers, they can scale easily. We could have just as easily put down $3,870, 10 times the amount we did for the example trade there. We could have put down a much larger amount on that trade and cashed out $7,100, again, with all in that same week. And that would have been a $3,200 profit on just one single trade, over 80% on the performance there, again, in just less than a week's time. Now, there's something extremely unusual about this trade that I need to tell you about. First, let me go ahead and show you another trade here. So let's take a look at this one. This is a company called Leidos Holdings, Inc. So this is LDOS. Again, not a huge, always talked about, not having, 30-minute long segments about this stock on CNBC or Fox Business or something like that. This is not one of the topic of conversation stocks. So again, this is a stock that Wall Street could be overlooking sometimes, which again, could potentially be opening the door for us. So LDUS, you can see it was actually trading flat, kind of consolidating here for a while. And that's probably why Wall Street missed this opportunity in Leidos stock. So you can see Patty, our tool here, actually issued a buy signal, and we went ahead and purchased a call option back on February 1st for about $690. Now, fast forward 12 days later, let's see how the trade performed. It was actually up $1,530, which of course is a 121% return in a little more than 2 weeks right there. And again, here's the trade confirmation showing that successful trade right there. Now, again, for demonstration purposes, still, we kept the trade amounts rather small just to show you that, again, this works in a smaller account, which is totally okay. But again, we could have just as easily put down 2x, 5x, even 10x the amount of cash on the initial position on a trade like this, which would have meant, a corresponding uplift in the possible profit of that trade. That, with those corresponding numbers there, that could have been $1,680, $4,200, or even a whopping $8,400 in profits, again, in all less than 2 weeks' time. Now, of course, this is all going to depend on your own personal account size, risk tolerance, things like that. That's all totally up to you. But the great thing about the results I'm showing you today is that what this does is it demonstrates is that you can start small. It's totally possible. And it's important because learning how to successfully grow a small trading account, I think quite simply is one of the absolute most valuable skills that anyone could possess. I mean, think about it. When you know how to take a small starting stake and grow it into a medium or large size trading account, the world, it's truly your oyster. Now, when you have that skill, you don't have to answer to a boss. You don't have to stress about money or bills or having piles of bills stacking up. You don't even have to depend on the government or your family because you personally, you the individual, are going to have the power to control your own financial destiny. Now, my guest today, he truly is living proof of that. Now, it was a time not all that long ago where his back was actually up against the wall and he was saved by a very simple trading discovery, and it made all the difference for him. His life today is miles apart from what it could have been had he not made this one simple trading discovery. And he's actually agreed to come on here live today to join us to share his story today. And he's also going to be sharing the exciting new breakthrough that's making these kinds of results possible. Again, just like some of the trades I shared with you earlier. So I'm encouraging you all to stick around to the very end of this training. I promise you're going to be really excited what you're going to hear about today. Plus, we have the free trade we're going to be sharing at the end of today's presentation. But again, you're not only going to have all that, but you're also going to be seeing the live demo of this breakthrough trading strategy here live today, including exactly how you can put the strategy to work inside your own trading account, get this on your own charts today. And again, you're going to have the shot to get one of the 99 available testing licenses for this incredible new algorithm. That's not all. As I said, to remind you even further, we are going to be giving out that free trade as your reward for joining us here on today's live webinar. That's our free gift to you as a thank you for being here live with us. So with all that, I would like to go ahead and officially welcome everyone to this exclusive live training webinar today. And we're calling this important new project we're discussing today Project Patty. Now, let's go ahead and break that down here over the next couple minutes. So, as I said before, folks, my name is Blane Markham. If you just joined in, and I'm, again, the Chief Trading Strategist here at the Optioneering team. And I've been working behind the scenes now with Chuck Hughes for a little more than 6 years. And just a little bit about me personally, I'm, of course, a trader. That's my profession here. But in my personal life, I'm an incredibly proud and lucky husband and father of the two best girls in the world, not partial at all. But back to today's presentation. Today, you're going to be being allowed to be meeting a bona fide trading legend, truly. He actually started back in the 1980s with just $4,600. That's what he could get together at that point in time when he was starting his own trading career. And he actually made over $460,000 in profits in just his first 2 years alone. He found great success in his first 2 years. And he since, throughout his trading career, has won 10 trading championships with audited real-time returns as high as 220%, 300%, even 330%. And folks, his trade signals, his live trade alerts sent out to members, that's what's shown in this chart and table over here on the right. They've absolutely crushed it for over 25 years running now in all different types of market conditions. I mean, you think about it. Of course, the S&P is substantially higher today than where it was, trading back obviously in the early 2000s. But, there's been a lot of chop along the way. There's been, significant bear markets, more recently sell-offs because of the COVID-19 pandemic and high inflation. And, earlier this year, we had a major sell-off related to tariff and trade policy here in the United States. I mean, it's all these different things that obviously happen over time, leading to significant volatility. But despite all of that, you can see the incredible results Chuck's live trade alerts sent out to actual members. So these were real-time trade alerts sent to members. You can see the results that they've had over 25 years. And this is really important, folks, because you see a lot of younger, lesser experienced traders, on Twitter, X, YouTube, just, out there on different social media platforms boasting about their trades. But the thing is, they've never experienced a real recession or a very significant bear market. So they never had to trade through a really deep bear market or had to navigate through years of sideways chop and consolidation. But our guest today, he has given his members the opportunity to profit for 24 years in a row and counting. You can see there's evidence of it right there in that table on the right. So folks, I want you all to join me in welcoming our guest today, welcoming trading legend Chuck Hughes. Chuck, looks like you just joined us here. So excited to have you here. Welcome in.
Yeah, it's great to be here today, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. You're coming through great.
All right, good. Well, Blane, thank you for that kind introduction. It's great to be here today. Before we get rolling, I must remind you, though, that there are no guarantees in the markets. There will always be some losing trades, and that's just part of the trading game. If you can't afford a loss, you shouldn't be playing this game. Now, with that said, what I'm going to share with you today can't guarantee success, but I do believe it can give you an edge. And I think it can change the way you look at trading forever. Now, I realize that's a pretty bold statement, but I'm going to show you the proof today. You see, the sad reality is that most traders end up sitting at their desks wasting hours because they're hunting for profitable trade setups. Now, I know this because for years I did the same thing. But today, I'm going to show you a trading breakthrough that makes it so much easier to target profitable trade setups. It's all thanks to something that Blane and I are calling Project Patty. This is a brand new trading breakthrough that we think is going to change the way that regular folks trade. Now, let me show you what I mean. We saw trade examples from lesser known stocks already, but now let's look at a few big name blue chips. IBM. Patty spotted a trade setup for IBM on February 28th, and we purchased a call option for $480. Now, 5 days later, we cashed out for $1,120, and that translated to 133% return in 5 days. And there's our brokerage confirmation showing that IBM trade. Now, remember, for demonstration purposes, we kept the trade amount small, but we could have just as easily put down 5 times, 10 times, or more on this trade. That would have resulted in a profit of $3,200 or a whopping $6,400 in just 5 days. But that's not the most incredible thing about these trades that we've shown you so far today. 83% on CE, 121% on Eldos, and 133% on IBM. The truth about these trades is actually a little embarrassing to admit, I will say. I would love to be able to take credit and say that I spotted these trade setups, but I didn't. And Blane, I'm sure you would have loved to be able to say, I found these setups also.
Absolutely. Yeah, it would be a pretty nice notch to have on your belt, no doubt.
But he didn't spot these either. That's because these winning trades and dozens of others that we're going to show you today, all these trades were spotted by Patty. She spotted the opportunity on CE and the setup in LDOS. And it was Patty that spotted the 133% winner on IBM. Now, I'm sure everyone is wondering who or what is this Patty? And to explain how Patty came to be, I need to share a very personal story. Despite my track record and despite all the trophies and the awards, the truth is, I never planned to be a trader. I was a pilot by trade. I spent 6 years in active duty Air Force learning everything there is to know about flying planes. After my active duty service in the military, I flew commercial jets for one of the major airlines. But a medical diagnosis of vertigo forced me to retire decades ahead of schedule. Thankfully, trading helped rescue my retirement. Losing the only job you've known for years would be devastating for most people. I know it was for me. But luckily, I had a backup plan. A few years before, I caught the investing bug and I decided to try my hand at the markets. Now, like most people, I struggled at first, but then I made a surprising discovery. I found a way to use trading to generate income. Starting with just $4,600, my first year trading profits totaled over $69,000, and these are my tax returns here. And as my account grew, so did my profits. I earned a whopping $391,000 in year 2, taking my total profits up to $460,000. And remember, folks, this was way back in the 1980s when 6 figures actually meant something. Now, to be clear, I'm not promising anyone that they'll see the same or similar results, and trading involves risk. But this discovery saved my retirement. In fact, when my career as a pilot ended, I was already earning more as a part-time trader compared to my full-time pilot salary. Today, I'd like to share the trading strategy that made all the difference for me. The truth is, I was a lousy trader at first. I made every mistake that you can make, but everything changed for me once I discovered the power trend. Once I mastered power trend trading, it was like flipping a switch. Trading became so much simpler, easier, and more fun. And today, I'd like to share the 2 simple trading rules that make my power trend system work. And you'll want to write these down, folks. Rule number 1 is we want to focus on stocks in a price uptrend. Now, this sounds reasonable, but this is a very crucial part of your trade selection, because when you're looking for bullish opportunities, we only want to buy stocks that are trending up. Buying stocks that are trending down requires you to correctly predict when the stock will bottom out and return to a price uptrend. So we just focus simply on stocks in a price uptrend. We don't have to guess if we purchase a stock in a downtrend. We don't have to guess when it's going to turn around. So we like to just simply focus on stocks in price uptrends. Now, one of the easiest ways to determine if a stock is actually in an uptrend is to check the monthly price of the stock and confirm that it's trading above its 200-day simple moving average. Now, looking at this daily price chart for LDOS, we can see the daily white candlestick bars right here. That's the daily price movement of LDOS. And below that, you'll see this yellow line right here. That's the 200-day simple moving average. And we want to make sure that LDOS is trading above that 200-day simple moving average, which means LDOS is in a price uptrend. Now, the most likely future price movement for a stock that trades above the 200-day simple moving average is up. Let's next look at rule number 2. Now, rule number 2 is wait for a price pullback. We want to avoid any stock that is overbought when initiating a bullish trade. Just stands to reason. Now, we use the Keltner channels to determine if a stock is overbought. Stocks trading above the upper Keltner channel are overbought and are likely to sell off from their overbought condition. So obviously, we don't want to take a bullish position on a stock that is overbought. So we wait until the stock in question trades below the middle Keltner channel, and a stock that's in a price uptrend but retraces below the middle Keltner channel is no longer overbought and is likely to resume its price uptrend. So this can help us get a lower risk entry for the trade and increase our odds of success. Now, looking at that same daily price chart for LDOS, we overlaid the 3 Keltner channels. You can see this green line here is the upper channel. The blue line in the middle is the middle Keltner channel, and the red line is the lower Keltner channel. So we don't want to buy a stock when it's trading above that upper channel and is overbought. So what we do is we wait for the stock price to retrace, and circled on the chart are days when the stock was trading above the 200-day EMA, but then traded below that middle Keltner channel and was no longer overbought. So we circled these days where the price hit that middle Keltner channel right in here. So I've been trading my power trend system successfully for many years, and it helped me win 10 highly competitive world trading championships. And recently, I've made over $3.4 million in actual profits trading power trend. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Last year, we created the PADI algorithm, and the PADI algorithm screens the power trend buy signal further to target higher probability trades. This has resulted in higher accuracy and profitability for my already profitable power trend system. Now, for years, anyone who wanted to apply my power trend method had to go through the tedious process of manually applying each rule individually to a chart to see if it was time to buy or not. Now, the trade results were brilliant, but the process was cumbersome. So last year, we essentially mapped my brain and my years of experience to create the power trend trading system combined with the algo-based indicator, which led to the birth of PADI. Now, the PADI algorithm added steps number 3 and number 4 to our trade selection process. And step number 3 is buy on a trend reversal day. Now, a stock that is trading below the lower Keltner channel but reverses course during the day and closes near the high of the day is an indication of a trend reversal to the upside. A hammer candlestick pattern is a good way to identify these reversal days, so we look for this candlestick pattern for the 3rd step in our trade selection process. Now, looking at that same daily price chart for LDOS, we can see this hammer candlestick pattern right here. So traded below that middle channel and then closed near the high of the day, indicating a trend reversal. And you can see that the trend did reverse at that point and went back up. So using our 3 rules, we can see that LDOS had a buy signal on February 1st, so we purchased a call option.
So when we saw that call option or that buy signal there from Patty Chuck on LDOS, we went ahead and purchased an LDOS call option on February 1st, and that one had an entry cost of $690. You can see the entry circled right there. And again, just a few short days later, just 12 trading days later, that is very short term. We were able to cash out for $1,530, which equated to a 121% return for that trade. Again, there is the trade confirmation, folks, just to show you that one purchase right there.
Yes, and the PADI algorithm screens the buy signal further to target higher probability trades, which brings us up to step number 4. And step number 4 is using a complex set of rules based on the inertia of the price data. PADI determines whether the market is in an initiation or a continuation phase. And before we continue, I must say this, don't worry, folks, if any of these rules are confusing. PADI takes those trading rules and makes everything very simple and automatic.
Yep, exactly right, Chuck. Yeah, Patty does all this automatically for you. And folks, as we've been saying, Patty, it's been live for over a year now, and the results, they really have been nothing short of incredible that we've seen so far. So we're going to go ahead and hop into a few more trades that's actually spotted. So here's one right here. This was for Tyson TSN. You can see this was a 3-day long trade, produced a nice 25% profit. I mean, you compare that to a nice year on the S&P. A good year on the S&P is 25%. That happened in 3 days off of the signal right here. But, she didn't stop there. She was already on the hunt for the next setup and trade opportunity. And she spotted one in NVIDIA right here. This was a great 77.5% return, actual profit in just about a week's time. So again, you can see that breakout that it spotted right there. So, that means if you put, say, $1,000 on that one NVIDIA trade right there, that could have turned into $1,775 in just 1 week's time. That's an incredible profit in just a week, folks. So, naturally, a larger starting stake, of course, just, playing with larger numbers here means larger profit. So say you put, a little bit larger investment down up front, say $5,000 on this one trade, that could have swelled to $8,850 all inside of a week's worth of trading activity. Now, of course, $10,000, say you bump the stakes a little bit more. Say you put $10,000, that would have been meant taking home a nice $17,700 in profit out of the market in just 7 days' time. And here's one more right here. This is for Uber. Take a look at this one. This is, a little bit longer term trade right here. This one actually was over 5 weeks, but this was a 291% profit opportunity on this Uber signal right here. And so think about this, folks. I mean, just start doing some of the quick math. Say you put $1,000 on that, just $1,000 on that one trade right there. That would have easily and quickly turned into $3,910 in just over a month's time. And, those big gains are nice, but let's be realistic. Of course, they aren't always going to be quite that large, but we share these with you to show you what is possible and what Patty's actually spotting. And of course, sometimes Patty's going to find some smaller but faster profit opportunities, just like some of these next I'm going to share with you right here. Again, here is an opportunity it's spotted for Apple. This was a 38.3% profit opportunity, again, in just 4 days. So this was a really quick hitter trade, making almost 40% in 4 days. And of course, when it comes to the red hot artificial intelligence sector, I mean, it's absolutely on fire right now. Patty hasn't missed that move either. It was absolutely lights out. So you can see it spotted an opportunity right here for NVIDIA. This was another 305% profit opportunity that lasted just a little bit less than 2 weeks' time before you entered, exited out of the trade, and it had a profit opportunity of 305%. Now, again, doing the quick math, you put $5,000 in this one trade, that could have turned into $20,250 in less than 2 weeks worth of trading days. Now, here's one more for AMD right here. The chip maker, this is a nice 355% profit opportunity in 7 days' time. And again, you can see the breakout on the chart right there that it's spotted. So again, $5,000 on this one trade, that could have turned into $22,750 in 7 days' time. But that's not even the best one. Check this one out. Here's the big one here, folks. This is for super microcomputer SMCI. You can see it spotted this just incredible breakout right here in SMCI. This was a 1,601% profit opportunity it spotted. And again, this all happened in less than 1 month's time, spotting that move in real time. Now, again, you say you just plopped $1,000 under that one trade. Once you saw that signal right there, that could have turned into an incredible $17,010 in just under a month's time. I mean, think about if you saw that type of performance in your own portfolio, folks. And, say you have a little bit larger account, you would have scaled up your investment size on the front end. Say you put $5,000 on that trade, that could have turned into $85,050 on that same opportunity right there. Now, of course, again, I need to always remind you that there are no guarantees. Of course, past performance doesn't guarantee future success. There's no guarantees in the markets. And of course, there's going to be some losing trades from time to time. But, I think you're starting to see some of the opportunities Patty's spotting perform right here, right now in 2025 in these wild and crazy markets, even though, frankly, the markets, they have been kind of all over the place this year, Chuck. We've hit all-time highs just recently. We're kind of levitating right near there now. We had some, substantial sell-offs earlier, but none of that has slowed Patty down even one bit. She just keeps finding incredible profit opportunities all over the market. Just like this one right here. This was for IonQ, one of the hot plays in the quantum computing sector. This was a 55.7% profit opportunity on IonQ. This one turned out in just 7 trading days. And again, here's one right here for VeriSign, VRSN, a 126% profit opportunity winner on VeriSign, just 5 days. How about this one right here? Fortinet, big cybersecurity player, 155% profit opportunity on Fortinet in just 4 trading days. And here's one final one right here for AT&T, ticker T. This was a 96.5% profit opportunity, again, in just 3 trading days' time. And again, you can see the entry and exits right there on the chart. Now, folks, I think you're probably going to start agreeing with me because you're starting to see that having Patty in your corner when it comes to trading can really make the world of difference to your trading results. And to back it up, we're going to go ahead and show you exactly how Patty works during today's live presentation, so everybody attending and watching this webinar at home can actually see this tool in action. So Chuck, go ahead and say a little bit more about how this works.
Yes. So here's an example of the Patty scanner, and the scanner will tell you all of the stocks that qualify at the time that the scan is run. So we took a snapshot of the stocks that particular day that qualified, and these were on a Patty buy signal. We can see the first one here is Agilent Technologies, and the second one is Qualcomm. So we run these scans. Some days we'll get more signals than that, some days less, but generally we'll get several really good buy signals daily with Patty. So these stocks on a buy signal, Agilent and Qualcomm, you could purchase a call option for these stocks because they turned up as a buy signal on Patty. They met all the criteria that we just discussed, those 4 steps. So Patty automatically uses those 4 steps, scans through stocks, and comes up with buy signals that are current for that day. So let's take a look at some recent buy signals for Patty. And here's the daily price movement of NVIDIA stock, candlestick, red and green candles here. And when you pull up a stock, you simply type in the stock symbol and it'll show you the Patty trades. And the green arrow right here is a buy signal. So you can see right in here, we had a buy signal for NVIDIA, made a really nice up move here. Another buy signal here, another buy signal, huge up move here. And NVIDIA retraced, and we had another buy signal here right at the very bottom of this big up move right here. So very profitable green arrows here indicating Patty buy signal. So
yeah, all those buy signals worked out really well there, Chuck. But I mean, gosh, some of those that Patty spotted, I mean, the stock just went parabolic, right? I mean, almost the day that Patty spotted the signal. So that's really impressive on those right there. Tell us what's going on this one right here.
yeah, here's another one. This is for Visa. And again, we can see the green arrows here for Patty. Spotted a buy signal right in here. Nice big up move. Another buy signal here. Another buy signal there. Another big up move. And again, it's finding these buy signals a lot of times after the stock retraces, and you'll see big moves up after these green arrows in most of these trade signals. And notice how we're looking today in general. We're looking in all different sectors with these Patty buy signals. Recently, the nuclear energy, quantum computing, AI, internet security, nuclear energy, they've been in very strong price uptrends, and Patty's been finding buy signals in all those hot sectors. So Patty doesn't discriminate. It'll look at any sector and to determine if there's buy signals. Here's one for Colgate Palmolive. That's about as blue chip as you can get. And you can see the Patty buy signals on Colgate Palmolive. After the retracement right here, we can see two buy signals, nice big up move. Another retracement here, two buy signals near the bottom of that retracement, big up move in Colgate Palmolive. So Patty doesn't discriminate. It'll search out buy signals in any sector.
Yeah, that's fantastic, Chuck. And here's one final one. Tell them what's going on this one right here. Just you know, highlight a couple of the just incredible buy signals that spotted here.
Yes, this is for Meta. And these are recent buy signals. We see a retracement in Meta and a buy signal right here. Nice big up move. Another retracement and some more buy signals for Meta right in here. And then a huge up move right here. So, another retracement and buy signals right here. So that Patty will seek out these opportunities in any sector. And you can see these nice big up moves in these examples. After the stock retraced, Patty jumps in, you get a buy signal, nice big up move after the retracement. So really sets you up for success with these buy signals. Very, very accurate. Of course, not all buy signals are winners, but very, very accurate. You can just see from these price charts how Patty enters after a retracement and then catches a nice big up move. And here's another one. This is for GE. This has been one of our favorite stocks the last couple of years. Again, multiple buy signals right here after this retracement. Nice up move. Couple more buy signals after the retracement. Nice up move. And again, some more buy signals here. Nice big up move after those buy signals.
Yep, it's definitely spotting those opportunities when you want to try and be, getting into some of these stocks just before, a big up leg happens. So that's great, Chuck. Thanks for sharing those examples. So folks, at this point, we've kind of shown you all of our cards on exactly how Patty works and kind of what is, working behind the system, what it's pointing out to us. And, at this point, we've shown you dozens and dozens, I can't even remember all the trade results that we've shown you of actual trades that our team has taken based on these Patty signals. And we've shown you how this indicator works in real time. We've shown you a real-time demo of how it works here. And, because of that, we've shown you how the trading philosophy that this indicator is based on is responsible for multiple trading championships throughout Chuck's career, and how it's actually been one of the key drivers behind decades of trading success, relating to his trade alerts that he sent out to members over the past 25 years and counting. And now we're actually going to go ahead and make you a special offer that you can actually start using this power trend indicator, Patty, today and start taking your trading to the next level. Before we go ahead and share the special offer we have for you today, we've actually arranged for folks in this webinar today, there's something really important I need to mention, because in the past, many of the folks who joined various high-ticket VIP programs, live presentations, they were expecting to pay $5,000 or more in order to gain access to something like the power trend trading system. And, as the saying goes, price is what you pay. Value, of course, is what you actually get. So even if we were asking $5,000 today for this indicator, I think you would probably be in very good hands with that. But of course, we promised an incredible, blow you away type of special offer for folks that are on this live webinar today. And we intend to keep that promise. We want to stick to our word on that. So we're not asking anywhere near $5,000 or even $4,000. And I personally think that even $3,000 for something like Patty would frankly be an absolute type of indicator and trading tool like this, especially when we consider that you could easily recoup that investment with just one or two successful trades. I mean, we've shown you countless examples today of very successful trades that Patty spotted in some of the opportunities that we've been able to take advantage of following that. But today, I want to go ahead and give you an even better deal than that, because starting with this exclusive bonus we're throwing in today. So in addition to the power trend trading indicator, the Patty Algo Trader, you're also going to be getting access to this right here. You're going to be getting your hands on the Power Algo Trend Stock Screener and Scanner. So this is something Chuck actually briefly touched on earlier. You saw kind of what the scanner looks like. But what the scanner does, it makes it so simple. It does it automatically for you. You don't have to spend hours sorting through charts, looking, hunting for each one of these, going stock symbol by stock symbol. It scans across the market for you, makes it simple, easy to find these winning trade setups when combined with the indicator. Now, our publishers, when we pitched this idea to them originally of what we wanted to create with Patty, they wanted us to sell the scanner as a separate add-on, upsell type add-on for, somewhere around another $1,000. But we said, absolutely no way, we're not doing that. That's not what we're trying to do here. We insisted that we want to get you this scanner absolutely free with your order today if you go ahead and sign up to get the Patty indicator. Now, on top of that, we're also going to be giving you the quick start guide. It's going to help you hit the ground running today if you go ahead and sign up with the Power Trend Patty indicator. Now, there's one more incredible bonus that I have to go ahead and mention to you folks. Now, typically with any kind of software like this, you're usually going to get stuck paying, some type of recurring annual license fee, right? I mean, you've probably seen this. For example, we have to pay for Microsoft to use every year to use their Microsoft Office products like Excel, Word, and some of their other products. And that's why some of these big tech companies, they have so much money, is because they have these recurring business models, right? But we're refusing to play that game. That's not our style. We just wanted to help, create great trading tools and get them in your hands. So when you go ahead and order today, if you go ahead and sign up for Patty, take advantage of this incredible offer you're about to find out about, we're going to be giving you a lifetime license to use this software for your own personal use. And this could easily be a $10,000 savings for you when compared to paying an annual license fee over a long run. Now, with that, you're going to be getting the lifetime license today absolutely free. That's just included in your purchase today. Now, we're so confident in the results that were generated by Patty today, we're actually offering this incredible 365-day satisfaction guarantee accompanying your purchase today. So simply put, what do we mean by that? So if you're going to use Patty, use it for a full year. And if you aren't happy with the results after you experience after a full year, well, we'll go ahead and buy it back for you. No questions asked. So here is everything you're getting today, folks, if you go ahead and decide to purchase Patty today. So you're going to be getting the Power Trend Patty Optimized Indicator. This is, of course, the algo-based trading indicator we've been talking to you about all day today on today's live presentation. Again, this is based on Chuck's proven trading strategies and philosophies. Again, the nickname is Project Patty. You've heard so much about that here today. Of course, you're going to be getting the Patty Power Trend Scanner, and this is the algo-based optimized stock scanner. It's going to be automatically going out there and seeking out and hunting those great setups that Patty is spotting out there in the market that fit all of the criteria. Of course, we're throwing in the 665-day satisfaction guarantee that I just mentioned. You're also going to get your hands on the quick start guide for easy installation to show you exactly how to get this up and running very quickly, super simple. It'll show you exactly how to do that right there. You're also going to be getting the complimentary lifetime access to this license, to this program. Now, this is also, you're going to be available to get this today, is a special discounted price for the first 99 test licensees. But here's what that means, folks. Today we're looking to accept 99 new traders willing to test out the new Patty system and hopefully document your results. We would love to hear from you. We'd hope you would report your trading results back to us if you'd like to, so we can feature you as one of our newest success stories. But of course, that's completely optional, that part. Of course, you don't have to share them. If it's totally up to your discretion. You could choose to use Patty, go trade, use Patty, use it to its full extent, but never tell another soul about it. Never share your results if you choose to do so. That's entirely up to you. But I think if you start seeing some of the results, kind of like we've shared here today with Patty, I think you'll most likely be telling some folks about it. But with all that said, moving on, today, as I said, we're making 99 test licenses available to use Patty. So you can use this as much as you want over the next 365 days for the discounted price of just $997. So just one payment of $997, you can get your hands on Project Patty and begin using this incredible trading tool yourself today. So if you're ready to add this powerful trading tool to your trading repertoire, this is your chance, folks, right here, right now, today. So in just a couple seconds, we're going to go ahead and post a link in the chat. Helene's going to post it there for you. So in about 3 seconds, and Helene, go ahead and post that link in 3, 2, 1. Post that link, Helene. All right, I see that link posted there in the chat, folks. So go ahead, if you want to go ahead and take advantage of this incredible opportunity today, we have the link there in the chat. You can go ahead and click the link in the chat to go ahead and get your hands on Patty as soon as possible. You can go ahead and sign up right now, or you can also go to tradewins.com/Patty, or even give our team a call. They can help process your order over the phone. So you go ahead and give them a call at 828-318-8810. And you can go ahead and get your order submitted in any of those 3 ways. They all work perfectly fine, all equally as well. But our team will get you taken care of. But folks, I do have to say there is one catch with all of this, but you just want to listen closely here. But this is a special offer, only good for the first 99 motivated people to go ahead and take us up on this incredible offer today. I mean, this is probably the lowest we've ever offered one of our premium tier indicators at. This is an incredible trading tool going for $997. And so folks, after that first 99 amount of test licenses are spoken for, after all of those are sold up, the price, it's going to be going up after that. So if you're on this webinar live here today, you're here watching, or even if you're viewing a replay later on, don't hesitate, folks. If you want to go ahead and sign up for Patty, don't wait. Don't hesitate. Go ahead and grab your chance now. Take advantage of this incredible discount in front of you and lock in those savings and get Patty on your charts, get Patty in your corner for just $997. And because you made the wise decision to go ahead and join us here live today, we also have a few extra surprises up our sleeve that we're going to throw in to help sweeten the pot even more for you today if you go ahead and choose to sign up. So here's the first bonus that we're talking about, some of the tricks we have up our sleeve for today. So the first bonus we're throwing into, you're also going to be getting something we're calling the Patty Momentum Radar, absolutely for free. It's being thrown in as an extra bonus, rewarding you for coming here, tuning in live today, and watching today's presentation. And it's this down here. It's this lower study. This is what we're calling the Patty Momentum Radar. And this helps to serve as a confirmation for the Patty buy signals. We'll say a little bit more about this later, but this is an incredible bonus that you're getting for free. And so the Momentum Radar, of course, it's the lower indicator. Like I just said, it helps to confirm the strength of the buy signal. So you can see that green wave of bars starting to develop right there, and you can see the corresponding move that happened in RTX. So that's just an incredible add-on that our team has created, this Momentum Radar. It is super helpful. Even if you weren't just using the Patty signals, just having that Momentum Radar alone is incredibly helpful in trading. It's a great tool. And what it does is actually supercharges the Patty indicator working in tandem side by side with Patty. Now, we could easily charge $500 alone probably for the Momentum Radar, but if you go ahead and join today, it's yours absolutely for free, no questions asked. Now, the second bonus we're including, just since you tuned in live today, folks, it's this one right here. Here's the second bonus. Chuck is adding in his Patty Options Trading Guide. Now, what is this? This is a manual. It's going to give you step-by-step instructions on exactly how Chuck trades options using the Patty indicator. Now, you're going to be learning that help Chuck and his members over time find great success. But Chuck specifically, it's the same strategies to help make him his millions in trading profits over the years. And again, it's absolutely completely free, thrown in as a free bonus for you today if you join today and take advantage of the great opportunity in front of you. Now, once you go ahead and secure your lifetime membership to Patty, this is super important, folks. Listen up. Do not close that next page. This is really important. On the next page, you're going to be getting a very special invite that you're only ever going to see once and then probably never see this offer ever again. Now, on that page, what you're going to discover is a method for getting hand-picked high probability option setups practically spoon-fed to you every single week. Now, this is a way you can go after high probability trades even if you never even turn on the Patty indicator for some reason. If for some reason you never even use it, this is still incredibly valuable right here. So folks, highly encourage you to go ahead and click that link, take advantage of this incredible offer in front of you today. You can click that link to go ahead and get Patty in your corner today. Or again, you can also go to tradewins.com/Patty, or you can give our team a call at 828-318-8810 to go ahead and lock in your exclusive lifetime access to Patty right here, right now, today. Don't wait, don't hesitate. This is an incredible offer in front of you today. So with that said, folks, here's some even further additional trade results that have been spotted recently by Patty. Just some great winners here. Here's one for Bristol Myers, ticker BMY. This right here, Chuck, this was a quick 88.4% profit opportunity right here for BMY. Awesome looking trade. Here is one for JP Morgan Chase. Of course, you know, the massive bank here in the US. You know, been a great trading stock. Take a look at this lightning fast return. This is just 4 trading days, 64.4% profit opportunity on JP Morgan right there. Absolutely incredible opportunity that's spotted. Here's another one, an incredible 82.6% profit opportunity on Vertiv, ticker VRT. Again, in just about 5 trading days, that one worked out. So, you know, with that said, there's still even more trades that Patty has spotted, and we're going to cover some more of those right now. Here's MicroStrategy. I think they actually changed their name recently, but it's still their ticker. Here's a MSTR. This was a nice 52.4% profit opportunity on MicroStrategy in just a few days' time. And again, you can see that move that it spotted right there just before that ramp in the share price happened. You can see the entry and exit right there. Now, here's another lightning quick 96% profit opportunity on Cardinal Health, ticker CAH. Again, you can see that worked out in about 7 trading days right there. Almost a 100% winner on, you know, a healthcare stock. Chuck, you know, that's a pretty incredible result right there. And, you know, as you said, you know, it's spotting these opportunities all across the market. You know, it's blind to what sector or industry these stocks are coming from. It's just looking for the best setups out there in the market for these, you know, short to even medium term trades. And this one right here, this, of course, is one of the high flying AI stocks, Broadcom, AVGO. You know, they've had a nice tailwind behind them because of the AI revolution that's been going on. And it spotted this setup right here. You can see the entry right there clearly marked. And it's, you know, this had a profit opportunity of an awesome 66.1% on Broadcom. And again, this signal worked out again in less than 1 week's time.
So you don't need to be a professional trader to start using Patty. And this is a newer indicator, but over the years, we've received numerous success stories and testimonials from traders that have used that power trend trading principles to pursue their financial freedom. So we want to show you a couple of our members who have been trading power trend. And this testimonial came in from Dr. Ted in Indiana. And he sent in his brokerage statements to us, and his account went from $100,000 to $200,000, and then it hit $260,000. So good for you, Dr. Ted. And I know that he used some of those funds to help pay for his son's college tuition.
Oh man, that's absolutely incredible. I mean, that just really hits on the why of what, you know, why do we all do it, right? You know, why are we trying to develop these great trading tools? Why are people out there trying to trade in the markets? You know, man, hearing a story like Dr. Ted's right there, that's absolutely incredible. I always love when we talk about Dr. Ted. That's one of my favorites. How about this one right here, Chuck?
Yes, this is from George in New York City. He's a Customs and Border Control agent, and George sent in his statements, and they showed that he doubled his IRA account. It went from $85,000 up to $170,000 in 6 months. Then he doubled it again, and he made over north of $340,000 in the next 3 months. So went from 85,000 to 340,000 in about 9 months. So good for you, George.
That sounds incredible. Yeah, talking about a double approaching lunchtime there, Chuck. You're making me hungry. How about this next one right here?
Yeah, here's another one. This is from John and Candy in Tennessee. And John and Candy started with $70,000 in June. And by the middle of December, what is that? 6 months later, he made over $227,000 starting with $70,000. So good return for John. Way to go, John.
Absolutely. Love to hear that.
So we're not promising anyone that they'll see the same or similar results. And there's losing trades from time to time. And not all members report their results to us, obviously. But we're sharing these success stories today as a testament of the power of the power trend system that we've been using for decades. So we're hoping
Exactly.
to see some more testimonials just like that from people using the PADI indicator.
Yeah, exactly. We love to hear those great success stories, from our members. You've had a lot of different great testimonials over the years. You had some fantastic ones, just throughout your whole trading career, being able to provide these great trade alerts to your members. And, would love to get some, even fresher ones, even particular ones of users of PADI. I mean, we've been able to experience some fantastic success using PADI and using that trading tool here ourselves in our own personal trading. But I mean, that's why we want to share it with folks, so that you can start enjoying some of that great success using these tools as well. So Chuck, let's go ahead and show them some more of your own personal recent winners that you found using the PADI tool. So you have this one right here. This is for ADP. I mean, this ADP is about as vanilla as it gets, Chuck. I mean, this is not a high-flying AI startup tech stock. I mean, this is a human capital manager company. I mean, they're doing payroll processing, and it spotted a trade right here, and you had a 30% return in overnight. I mean, that's that's incredible.
Yeah, that was a one day trade in ADP.
Exactly. So that one turned out really strongly. Here's one here for Apple. Of course, this is one of those Mag 7 big tech stocks. So it's finding opportunities there as well. And it looks like this one was just a couple weeks, and this was about a 42% winner right there. 2 weeks time. Again, compare that side by side, folks, to what's considered a good year on the S&P. Most people, if they had a 25, 26, 27% year on the S&P, I mean, that's just a banner year for the index. Most people would sign up for that any year, right? Well, I mean, take a look at this right here. This is in 2 weeks time. Chuck just recently, not all that long ago, locked in about a 42% winner in 2 weeks time. So doubling what would be considered a good year on the S&P. Here's another one right here. This is for Walmart. This is a nice 44.3% return. Again, in just 3 days you had right here, Chuck, an incredible return there. Here's one for Raytheon. This was a 71.8, so almost 72% winner right here. Looks like you had several contracts and closed them out. And again, but this was only about a week and a half, 2 weeks hold on this trade right here, making near 72%. Here's another one from Meta. This is a 95.2% return. Again, you had in just 2 days. I mean, almost you're getting close to 100% winner right there, almost a double. In just 2 days time. I mean, that just completely blows it out of the water with that one. Love that. How about TJ Maxx right here? This is over 100%. And again, you did this one in actually a week's time here. So you had a double on this trade right here. In a week. I mean, that's just another incredible one right there. And again, this is a retailer. This is a really commonly known household name retailer. They're selling discounted retail goods. And Chuck, you spotted a trade and locked in a 100% winner on that one. That's absolutely incredible. Here's another one for
PADI seeks out these trades no matter what sector they're in. So that's one of the great attributes of PADI. It'll seek out these opportunities wherever they are. Here's one for Wells Fargo, I remember this trade. This was a 129% return in one day on Wells Fargo, a financial.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, you don't expect to have, an explosive move, in a bank stock like Wells Fargo. But it certainly can happen. And Patty spotted when it happened right here in just one day's time. I mean, that's just absolutely incredible return there for Wells Fargo. Here's another one for SYF, a 177% winner again in just one day's time. So you can see, some of these trades, I mean, they're starting to work out. Patty's has been optimized. It's, starting to spot these opportunities that are working out very, very quickly sometimes. And this just speaks to that right here with this example on SYF. And again, here's another one right here for this is another recent trade you took. This was for SoFi. Chuck, talk about this one right here. I mean, this one kind of speaks for itself, but what do you have to say about this one?
Yeah, this is one of those financial tech companies, and that's been a really good sector. And this trade, I'm actually still in this trade. I have a 200% open trade profit right now on SoFi. So Patty spotted this one. I've been in this trade for several weeks, but 200% open trade profit on SoFi, one of those strong financial tech stocks.
Yeah, and SoFi, just to talk about that one, I mean, that's a stock that, people have had a lot of high hopes for SoFi and always thought that it was going to have one of these big, bullish legs higher, but for so long it just was kind of consolidating, stuck in the mud. Really, it was kind of just spinning its wheels, right? And then you spotted this, or rather Patty spotted this, and you saw that Patty spotted the opportunity. And it spotted this buy signal right before this massive up leg that SoFi's been on and still running. So, Chuck, congrats on the great trade with that one. But folks, all that to show you, Patty is spotting these buy signals across the market. It's blind to the sector or industry that stocks belong to. It's looking where the great opportunities are in the market, and it's spotting quite a number of them. So, folks, if you want to go ahead and access and get Patty in your corner, get this trading tool in your repertoire, add this to your trading tool belt. You want to start getting these Patty buy signals today, then go ahead. Don't wait any longer. We only have 99 of those available spots at that, testing licensee availability at that incredibly discounted rate of $997 today. And again, remember, you're getting a lifetime access software license to use Patty indefinitely if you go ahead and sign up. So go ahead, click the link in the chat, or you can also go to tradewins.com/Patty. Or again, you can also give our team a call at 828-318-8810 to go ahead and place your order and get Patty in your corner today and start receiving these buy signals as soon as you sign up. I mean, there were some great looking ones earlier, right when I checked earlier, just after the market opened. Now, folks, I do have to say, I'm sorry to admit this, but there's actually only a few minutes left in today's presentation time. It's just about out. Time is running out for today's presentation, but we figured a great way to wrap up today's call. We love having all of you live here in the room with us. We are so appreciative to have you here with us, and we want to hear from you. We want to hear what you're thinking, what your thoughts are about Patty. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you and request you to post your questions in the chat. If you still have some questions that are unanswered, I know Helene's been doing a great job knocking out these questions as we go along today. And we're actually going to, Chuck and I, we're going to answer some of these live here and host a little live Q&A for a few minutes at the end of today's presentation in just a couple minutes. But while you're posting those in there, we have a couple other common questions we thought of ahead of time that we figured we should go ahead and address because, there's probably plenty of folks out there that have these questions, bouncing around their mind. So the first question is, how do I get started with the Patty indicator? Which, that's a great, just elemental question there, right? So the answer, it's this. It's simple. Everything is explained in the quick start video and guides that you're going to receive as soon as you sign up and join Patty. So you can use this indicator on Thinkorswim. That's where it's based. And in the upcoming masterclass that Chuck and I are going to be hosting, we're actually going to take it even further, deep dive. We're going to get really down in the weeds, take a deep dive on everything Patty, explain to you how it works, how we like to use it, how we like to trade the signals that come up. We'll even do just a quick install, just to make sure that everybody has seen exactly how to get it installed, both the scanner, both the indicator. We want to see, make sure that everybody can get the full use out of Patty, and we'll be covering that in the upcoming masterclass. So don't worry about that. Now, how does the guarantee work? So we mentioned the 365-day satisfaction guarantee, and it's really simple, folks. You're going to get a full 365 days to test out the Patty indicator and scanner, the full suite of trading tools here available today. And you're going to be able to make sure that it's a good fit for you and your trading. Now, if you're not satisfied after those 365 days, just contact your team and you'll be able to get a full refund. Now, the third question is this: is this options trading? With Patty, what are we actually doing here? And the answer is this: yes. All of the trade examples that were shown here today, these were made using options. That's just our team and Chuck's preferred method of trading these Patty signals. And we prefer them because options, they're a great tool because they give you increased leverage for allowing you to go after bigger profit potentials while putting down far less money on the front end. Now, continuing that, if say you're a little newer to trading, or maybe even you're experienced, but you're just not quite comfortable trading options just yet, but that's totally fine. You can still use the Patty indicator and scanner to trade the underlying stocks. That's totally fine. It's just as valid on trading the actual stocks as it is taking those signals and then applying them to options trades like we prefer to do. Now, with that, of course, then, as you gain more experience, trading the Patty signals, learning how it works, if you get confident enough to where you feel comfortable trading options, of course, totally up to you. That's up to your discretion. Then you can start using the option signals down the road. And question number 4, how much money do you need to start actually to take the individual trade should you want to? That's, again, a great question, very elemental concept here. And, Chuck, I'd say anywhere from somewhere, $300 to $700 per trade. That's typically what we target, with these Patty option signals. So somewhere in that neighborhood of $300 to $700 per trade. And, that's just the average cost, of course, for a single options contract, folks. So, some of them could be a little higher than that. Some could be a little bit lower, but somewhere in that range of, $300 to $700 coming out, average $500-600 per one contract. And, for a lot of the options contracts that are actually traded these days anyways, that's pretty close to the average cost of the single options on most of these stocks that get traded. So with that said, sometimes there, of course, will be some cheaper trades, as I said, and also some options contracts could be even a little more expensive. But again, sticking to that $300 to $700 range per trade, that's a really good starting point. That's usually what we like to try and target ourselves. Now, question number 5, can I use this to trade my 401k or IRA? And that's a really important question too. Now, the answer to this is generally yes. Most brokerage houses will allow you to take options trades. If you're already set up to take options trades inside your accounts there, you can go ahead and hit the ground running with these signals. Take the Patty signals, find options trades for them. You can hit the ground running with that. And if not, then you can start just trading the stocks, or you can, typically go ahead and switch your account, get the required account approvals. Most brokerage houses just require that you have the required options trading clearances. You just have to contact your broker to discuss that. But, Chuck, I know that you take a lot of the majority of your trades, in fact, in your retirement account. So it's definitely possible to trade these signals in a retirement account.
Yes, yes. And this is the most basic option strategy. We're simply buying call options on stocks that are on a Patty buy signal. So very simple strategy, not very complicated. This is a great strategy if you're just starting out with options. This is a great strategy to use, and we give you detailed information in the members portal on how we trade options on these Patty signals. And you saw numerous examples today of trades that we took based on the Patty indicator. So very simple option strategy, and the Patty scanner and the Patty indicator are only available on Thinkorswim right now. And with Thinkorswim, if you don't have Thinkorswim, you can open up a free account with Schwab and get the Thinkorswim platform. So just wanted to mention that this indicator is available on Thinkorswim. And we also
exactly,
have information on how to install the indicator on Thinkorswim. And then if you still need assistance, of course, we have full telephone support that can help you get up and running with Thinkorswim and the Patty indicator.
Yep, absolutely. And to add to that too, Chuck, of course, you're not going to be hosting a masterclass, getting these things covered in the install portion of the masterclass. We're going to cover all that in the masterclass in depth. But I'll add that masterclass is a members only event. So, today's session, of course, this was free to anybody that wanted to attend and be here live for today's webinar about Patty. But that masterclass you and I are going to be hosting, Chuck, that's for members only. So if you want to attend that masterclass where you and I are, going to be, really digging deep into Patty and how we like to use it, we have to go ahead and sign up and become a member. Go ahead and secure your lifetime license to the Patty indicator and software. So you have to go ahead and get that set up ahead of time to be able to attend that masterclass. And two, just to add to what you're saying about Thinkorswim, you can open that free account with Thinkorswim. They don't have any. If you don't already have an account there and access to Thinkorswim, Schwab doesn't have any account minimums or monthly installments or recurring charges to have an account there, even if the account's unfunded. So you can still get access to Thinkorswim by just opening up that free account. I know several of our team members actually did that. They don't personally do their trading there, but they open up their account to get access to Thinkorswim, and they have the full access to all of Thinkorswim software there. So just wanted to cover that just in case anybody had any questions on that part right there. Now, a couple more questions before we hop into the questions you all submitted in the chat. So after the buy signal, how will I know when the time is right to exit the trade? So what we did, Chuck, he had a great idea. What he wanted to do is he wanted to add in built-in profit targets and stop losses so you know exactly when to exit a trade after you get a buy signal. So of course, as we've talked about today, it's signaled by a green up arrow. So there's your buy signal right there underneath that candle. Well, you can see these green dots and these red dots. Well, those aren't there by mistake. Those are there on purpose. Those are the built-in profit targets and stop loss that are automatically going to be printed on the chart once Patty spots a buy signal in any given stock, ETF, index, whatever it may be. And you can see right here, here is your profit target right here. And there is your stop loss that is automatically built in. And again, I'll add that these are actually personalized to the actual buy signal. So these are not just arbitrarily set at some, just arbitrary level. These are actually personalized to the actual buy signal in stock there. And so even better, Thinkorswim, this is a really neat thing within the Thinkorswim software. It can actually even text you an alert when your profit target or stop loss is hit. So, you go ahead, you see a signal, say you decide to take it and you're trading that one. But, maybe, of course, it's totally understandable if you can't sit around and watch your computer and watch the stock chart all day. Well, you can go ahead and set an alert and have it set up to text you. Say if you want to set up a price level alert, if it takes out that profit target, well, go ahead and you can set that alert in there and it'll send you a text as soon as that profit target is hit. So a really, really neat feature there. And then finally, of course, I'm sure a lot of people are thinking, is every trade that Patty finds going to be a winner? Well, of course, folks, absolutely not. We've said there's no crystal ball out there. As much as everybody would love to only pick winners 100% of the time, that's just not how the stock market goes. We know that. That's just part of the trading game. There's always risk involved, right? So, please do not order if that's what your expectation is that every single signal is going to be a massive overnight success winner. There certainly are plenty of those, but of course there's some losing trades to be expected as well. Now, with that said, however, the initial results from our testing and our own personal trading, they've shown some pretty incredible win rates thus far. And remember, the trading is all about getting an edge, and that's exactly what we're trying to do here today with this Patty indicator and scanner, just the whole suite of trading tools. That's really where this indicator and scanner really shines. So, folks, remember, for just one payment today of $997, then if you're one of the first 99 people to go ahead and sign up, claim that lifetime license today at that incredible discounted rate, you can get your hands on it for just $997. So again, you can either go ahead and click the link in the chat to go ahead and sign up and join Patty today, or go to tradewins.com/Patty, or give our team a call at 828-318-8810. Now, folks, as we promised, we had the free trade that we want to include for you today. This was a fresh buy signal generated by Patty today. This is for CF Industries, ticker CF. You can see it right here on the chart. So this is exactly what the Patty indicator is going to look like. So you have it pull up in your chart. Of course, here is the daily price action up top for CF. You can see all these candles here showing the daily trading range for the stock. And again, you can see a very clear definitive buy signal right there. There are those Profit target and stop loss is printed on the chart. And then also below here is that bonus that's being thrown in today absolutely for free. If you go ahead and claim your license to get Patty and go ahead and sign up for Patty, claim that today. Remember, we're throwing in the Patty momentum radar absolutely for free. And there it is right here. You can see, of course, take a look right here. There were some buy signals back here earlier on in this breakout. But I mean, take a look. You can see the confirmation right here. You see this just massive green wave of momentum forming. So that would have been confirming the buy signals back here. But again, you can see, look right here. Look what's starting to happen in this radar right down here. So that's exactly what the momentum radar is designed to do, is to help confirm those buy signals. So you have Patty finding the buy signal up top. That's your base level buy signal. And then you have the momentum radar down below, providing that further confirmation of when you truly are having a very strong momentum breakout. That's exactly what we have right here in CF, Chuck. So wanted to make sure we covered that one today. That was the free trade we have for you today. Looks like a great opportunity. In addition to several other ones that Patty spotted today, it was a battle trying to figure out which one we were going to share today. But this was one of our favorites among several that were spotted today.
Yeah, that looks like a great setup there, Blane, for CF.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I have to definitely keep our eye on that one. It looks like a great breakout in progress. But with that said, folks, I know we do want to go ahead and get into some of these questions here before we wrap things up for today. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm not sure if Helene can join us. I don't know if she's going to be able to read some of the questions or not. But let me see here. We can start knocking out some of these questions here live. But again,
Yeah, here's a question from Lewis, and he's asking us about the trade alerts and how often do these go out. And Lewis, the trade alerts that Blane mentioned are, you can set that up on Thinkorswim for when the profit target or the stop loss is hit for the stock. So
exactly.
everything's based on the movement of the underlying stock. So we don't send out emails or texts with trade alerts, but you can set up Thinkorswim. Really nifty feature of Thinkorswim is to set up these trade alerts when the profit targets hit on the stock price or the stop loss.
Exactly. And just to further clarify what I was talking about there, Lewis, about the alerts. So take CF, for example, right here. Say that you had Patty, you already had it set up on your end, on your computer, or in fact, I'll touch on this in a moment, even on your phone too. But say you took this alert right here and you say whether you were trading the stock or even if you had found a call option that you wanted to trade in order to trade this using an options trade, you could set up an alert right here. You can see here over here on the side is showing you exactly the price of where the profit target is set. So it's $100.45. Well, you could go into your chart, and this is again a little tip and trick we'll cover in the masterclass, but you can go in here and click right at exactly at that price level, set an alert. So it'll send off an audible bell and notification on your computer. But if you're away, you can also have it set up to send you a text, email. There's several ways it can notify you. Say CF continues this breakout, goes up and hits and trades through that profit target. Well, they're going to send you automatically the split second that happens, they're going to send you a notification letting you know. So if you're away from your computer, you're not watching the stock chart, you'll know exactly when that happens. So if you were looking to take advantage of that profit target, you would know exactly when it got hit. So that's just exactly how that works right there. Now, again, Chuck, just real quick, that's one thing I want to touch on is the mobile access to Patty. So, of course, you can get the Patty charts just like this on your computer, on your desktop, using Thinkorswim that way. But there's also a mobile version as well. So if you're out and about, you're traveling, whatever it is, maybe you're away from home, don't have your computer, if you're still looking to trade, you want to see what's happening in the markets. Maybe you're out just running some errands and you just want to keep up what's going on in the markets. They have an incredible mobile app, and you can use Patty on your mobile phone via that app too. So it's available on your desktop. It's available via mobile. There's tons of different ways to get access to these great Patty buy signals. So just want to throw that out there as well. So let's see, what are some of the other questions here in the chat? Sorry, I'm trying to figure out which ones Helene's already answered and which ones have not.
Here's one from Paul, and he was wondering if he can benefit without using Thinkorswim. And Paul, you have to use Thinkorswim to benefit with Patty.
Yeah, Paul. It's just the Patty, the indicator and scanner tools. they're just built. The software is built to work in the Thinkorswim ecosystem. That's just where it's housed. That's where it's homed. So that's just, you have to have access to Thinkorswim in order to be able to use Patty. But again, like we said, even if you don't have a Schwab account, that's totally fine. It's quite easy to go ahead and take initiative to open one up. Not endorsing them, obviously, but that's just how you get access to Thinkorswim. That's just how you get access to that software. But you can open up the account for free. There's no account minimums. There's no monthly recurring fee to have the account open. That's what some of our members on our team do, again, in order to gain access to it. So just a clarification on that. Let's see. Okay, I see you say that you have Thinkorswim, just not as familiar with it. Well, Paul, go ahead and sign up for Patty and then attend our masterclass, because Chuck, myself, Helene, again, we're going to be walking you entirely through, everything involved there. We're going to give you a lot of tips and tricks. We're going to show you the full install, show you exactly how it works. And again, we're going to be fielding a lot of questions there too. Those masterclasses are meant to be very interactive, engaging sessions. Chuck and I will field any and all questions. We'll make sure that everybody who attends, every single question they have and they bring to us is answered that day. So we can definitely help you out with that one. So let's see. Any other questions you spotted in here, Chuck? It looks like Helene knocked out a lot of these while we were going. She was doing a great job helping folks out.
Yes, yeah. I think we've gotten to most of the questions here. Mohammed was looking for the free trade. Of course, that was CF Industries that we highlighted there with the price chart. And I love that momentum radar at the bottom there, Blane. That was a great addition to the original Patty indicator. So I love that. That gives a very clear picture, no matter what system you're using to trade out there. If you can use that momentum indicator just to verify your buy signals. I think that's a great indicator to have, regardless of how you pick the buy signals. Of course, if you use the Patty buy signals, it's right below the buy signal. But regardless of which system you use to enter trades, that momentum radar, that's a great backup that you can use just to verify your buy signals.
Exactly right. Yeah, I mean, as we said earlier, that alone, the momentum radar, is so valuable. It could be sold. We could probably sell that as a standalone product, on its own merits. I mean, that it's measuring the momentum, it's measuring the inertia, underlying and underwriting those trends in those stocks. And so it's incredibly helpful to have that added on, into Patty. You're getting the Patty, the main indicator, is doing a lot of the really heavy lifting for you, but also having that momentum radar, being able to, pair that with it as a confirmation indicator, confirm that it's a really strong buy signal as momentum is starting to ramp up in a stock or ETF, whatever you may be looking at. It's just incredibly valuable to have a handful of tools working, all combined, all side by side. In trading indicator. And as you said, it's like you said, even if you weren't using the main Patty base level indicator, whatever system you are using, just having access to that momentum radar, just to cross-reference with any other system out there. I mean, it's based on actual price action. So, as technical traders, obviously that's what we're looking at, right? We're looking at price action and what it portends for future price action. Well, it's measuring that, it's quantifying that, it's capturing those moves in real time and showing them to you on these signals that Patty's automatically identifying for you. But again, even if you weren't using just the base level Patty system, if you use the momentum radar and paired that with whatever your favorite system is out there, incredibly valuable tool to have. And again, that's, if you go ahead and sign up, you get Patty today, you go ahead and become one of those first 99 people to go ahead and claim your lifetime license to Patty today, then we're throwing in the momentum radar absolutely free as a bonus, rewarding you all for joining us here live today on this call. Chuck, I see one question from John. He was asking about the options trades, whether they were puts, calls, or spreads, what type of options trades. So John, Patty specifically is looking to target bullish opportunities. So it would be calls specifically. And just how we've traded it, would be directional call option purchases. So, we've been looking to trade call options. We haven't traded any spreads on this, but certainly that could be a potential way to do it as well. the profit targets and stop losses may not apply necessarily as much if you're looking to use a spread type of trade, because those tend to have a little bit longer duration. But for the actual setup itself, Chuck, a lot of the signals that Patty spots. I mean, we showed today several charts. I mean, they typically have a lot of room to run when it spots those great buy signals, and it's spotting those trends pretty early. So some type of spread, a bullish type of spread, could be definitely a viable way to trade some of these Patty signals. Of course, obviously that's all up to your own discretion, you as the trader. But yeah, that's the key takeaway is just that Patty's looking to spot bullish trading opportunities. That's what it's specifically designed to do. That's generally how we like to trade in the markets. About 3/4 of the time, over the long run, stock prices are increasing. About 75% of the time. So, we like to, we built tools just like Patty, to try and find those great bullish opportunities, and that's what it's out there targeting. Let's see. Any other questions you spotted in the chat, Chuck? I think Helene may have answered most of them.
I believe so. I don't see any further questions here. And thank you, Helene, for answering most of these questions. That's much appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, way to go, Helene, there, answering all these questions. Let's see. So one question I see is talking about the minimum account size. Chuck, did you want to speak to that about, if you were to sign up for Patty, get this tool today, get your hands on this tool, if you were to start trading, some of the options about, how we like to target them, what would be roughly the account size you'd recommend for somebody to have in order to go ahead and start trading these signals?
Yeah, good question. Let's assume that you spent an average of, let's say, $500 on an option contract. Now, of course, some will be lower cost, some will be higher cost. That last trade example we looked at for SoFi, that was a $215 cost. So let's just assume it was $500. You could trade 6 Patty signals in a $3,000 account. So it all depends on how many contracts you want to buy, but you could buy one contract. If it averaged out $500 per contract, you could trade 6 trades at a time in a $3,000 account. So of course, with larger accounts, of course, you can trade more contracts.
Exactly. Yeah, that's great, Chuck. I see we have another question here from Peter. He was asking, how does this differ from Auto Strike? I think Helene may have answered that, but if not, Peter, Auto Strike is another trading product that we've made. That it's a trade finder. It finds a specific type of trade for a specific type of strategy. Patty, on the other hand, it's looking for, this is an indicator. This is searching across markets. It's trying to go out and spot the individual opportunities that can be taken for a number of different types of strategies. So it's a little different than Auto Strike in that way. This is an indicator. It's going out trying to find opportunities across the market, and it's doing that automatically for you in a scanner. You have a full scanner list of all the opportunities, and again, you can see it on the charts too. So it's quite different from Auto Strike and how it works.
Patty uses more qualifiers to find that trade, that it's looking for that reversal day, which is a price pattern in the markets that usually turns out to mark a trend reversal. And we saw on those price charts when we were showing you different Patty signals, the green arrows, many times after a stock retraced, you'll get a buy signal in Patty, and that's right near the bottom of that retracement. And then there's a nice up move. So it uses a price pattern qualifier in Patty. That's part of the trade signal. And we also measure the inertia of the move. So Patty has additional steps than Auto Strike. So it's a more complex algorithm, results in a higher percentage of winning trades, and that's the main difference between Patty and Auto Strike.
Exactly right. And here's another thing that came up in the chat, and I think it'd be good to share this with everybody. Somebody was asking about legacy access with Patty, since it's including the lifetime access to the software and the Patty indicator scanner. So if you go ahead and sign up today, folks, as we said, this is it's a one-time payment. You're getting lifetime access to Patty if you go ahead and take advantage of this deal today. And so that does include legacy access. So if you buy this, you want your family to use it. You want, you share this with your spouse or your kids, things like that. You do have legacy access to Patty, and you can pass this down to them. You can share this with your family, and so absolutely. So legacy access is absolutely something that's included for for members that go ahead and sign up. You can absolutely share this with your family members to go ahead and start allowing them to take advantage of Patty and the great tools included too. I think that's just about all the questions here, Chuck. I don't see any other. Oh, we just had one just come in from Paul. He was asking, does Patty suggest expiration dates and strikes? So, Paul, no, Patty does not give you the specific strike. So this is looking to find just the setup in the stock or ETF or even indexes for that matter. So it's looking to, identify, the trends, the breakouts, gaining momentum and inertia, things like that. But it's not going to give you the specific options criteria. Now, that's something that Chuck and I are going to cover in depth in the masterclass we're going to be hosting, is exactly how, once we spot an opportunity, say any given day, whatever number of Patty buy signals there are, we sort down through and figure out, well, hey, this is the one right here today. This is the best looking one. This is the one we want to trade. Then we're going to cover in the masterclass exactly our next steps of how we would go about trading that, how we would go and find those setups. And also too, on the Patty members portal. So, once you sign up, you're going to get access to a members only exclusive website that includes a lot of great educational information about Patty. And it's going to cover these things as well, too. It's going to cover exactly how we would go out and target these directional call option purchase setups. Again, our preferred method of trading these. Again, you can also trade these if you don't want to trade the options, you can trade just the stocks. But if you are trading the call options, how we like to do, then we cover all that in some of the getting started and user manuals and guides on the website. So there's some great educational information there that covers that as well. And again, too, folks, I can't stress enough that this has mobile access as well. So, a lot of folks, you probably do most of your trading on your computer. That's how, Chuck and I do. Helene, that's how our team does most of all of our trading. But every once in a while, we're on the go. We have to, pull out the mobile phone, do something while, we're at the grocery store or running an errand, whatever it may be. Well, you can do that with Patty, since you can just get the Thinkorswim app, download it on your phone, your tablet, whatever you like to use when you're on the go, and you can be walking through Walmart shopping, filling up the shopping cart and see what buy signals Patty has on the chart. So it's a pretty incredible tool that you can use at mobile and at home on desktop too. So looks like that's just about all the questions. I don't see anything else coming in here, Chuck. Let's see. Yep. Yeah, I think that's all the questions. So, Chuck, anything else that you had to share with the folks today? I think we can probably just go ahead, just about ready to wrap things up for today.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody for joining us today and looking at the Patty indicator. We've seen great success with it. And our goal at Hughes Optioneering is to help you succeed as a trader. So 3 of my 6 children and my son-in-law Blane work for me, and they're very familiar with Patty and options trading, and they provide full support if you ever need it to implement the Patty indicator. So our main goal, of course, is to help you succeed as a trader. We'll do everything we can to make that happen.
Yep, absolutely right. I second everything you said there, Chuck. That's the why of why we do it. We want to help others out there, find success in the markets. We want to help assist in doing that, help create some of these great trading tools, just like Patty, in order to help facilitate that happening. But again, folks, I just want to thank all of you so much for taking some time out of your day. I know it's a Monday. I know people are busy. There's a lot going on. Stock market, is sometimes crazy. So there's always a lot going on. I know people's lives are incredibly busy, but just want to, sincerely thank you all so much for joining today's session. Can't say how much, how appreciative we are here for you being here live. Certainly hope to see a lot of you take us up on the offer for Patty. We've loved having this trading tool in our corner. I think you all will too, and would love to love to see and hear about you all finding some great success trading with Patty yourself. So Wish you all the best. Thank you again so much for being here live with us today. Hope you have a fantastic week, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you back here soon, to be able to sit down and chat about what's going on in the market. So take care, everybody. Thanks so much. Have a fantastic day, and thanks again for being here. Chuck, great job. I'll catch up with you later.
All right, sounds good. Blane, take care, everybody. Have a great day.